Hello and welcome to Cloudforest Vibes. My name's Bobby, and this is how I grow orchids and carnivorous plants. Hello and welcome to Cloudforest Vibes. What you are looking at here on my table today is my Dinama polybulbon and this big Brassia jipijapensis, which is just an absolute monster, at least for me. So what needs to happen is two things. These plants need to be freshened up a little bit and divided. So that is exactly what we're going to do, and the plan is, as of right now at least, to give a healthy chunk of this plant and a healthy chunk of this plant away to two really good friends of mine, Paula and Justin. So I've got some other plants I'm getting ready to stick in a box for them today, and in that box I'm going to surprise them with sections of these plants. So I've actually got more stuff for them. I'm not going to put that on film. Those are just going to be real surprises. You guys will see, I'm sure, in their unboxing videos. But Justin's going to get a big chunk of this Brassia for his new greenhouse, and Paula really needs a piece of this. Several, actually. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to get to work. I don't even know what I'm going to do about this. It is so firmly attached to this mount. I'm really going to have to get creative here. So I will video parts of it, I'm sure, but in the main I am just going to get to work. I have a lot to do today. So here we go, guys. So I have begun disassembling this Brassia mount. That is some of the moss I have pulled off so far, and look at these roots. I mean, I had to share this with you guys before I start tearing it apart. I thought maybe if I start loosening the moss, it'll, you know, open up a way, make it easier to figure out how to get this off of here, and I am even more befuddled than before. I'm really gonna have my work cut out with this one. You see that? That is root porn. So I am going to keep working at it and picking moss away, exposing these roots, and trying to figure out how I am going to peel this plant off of this mount and divide it. Because my idea is, I know it sounds crazy, but you've got a lead here that's coming up that way. You've got a lead coming up this way, and you've got another lead branching off that way. So I'm going to cut these two leads off, and on these two leads alone there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new growths coming, and that entire section is going to go to Justin. I am going to keep this lead. This lead has 2 new growths coming off of it, and then there's another chance for a growth to come off of this latest, biggest pseudo bulb up here. So I'm basically going to start this plant over. I'm going to put it on a vertical long mount and try to contain it, because this, as you see, likes to ramble. So I'll be back here in a little bit once I can figure out just what we're going to do to get this mess of awesomeness off of here. So it took a while, but we are here with our 2 divisions. This again is the one that I'm going to keep, restart this plant, and this piece, this mammoth piece, is going to go to Justin. I think that he's going to have better luck blooming this than I think he has more light, and I think he's going to get better temperatures for this plant. So I have high hopes, and again, he's got a real nice division coming. I hope he's happy with this. Anyway, this one I don't have a mount for. I don't have anything that's going to suit this right now, so I've actually pulled out another plant. I've got a bulbophyllum that needs to be addressed, so I'll get that squared away and we'll take a look at all that in a bit. Now on to the Dinama polybulbon. Alrighty, so done with the Brassia, and that leaves us with our Dinama polybulbon, and this should be a much easier task. So I'm going to go ahead and get the fishing line cut off of this and start trying to figure out what we're going to do. Alrighty, so here we are. I have cleaned this plant up a bit. I I'm going to leave it right on this mount, and this whole thing is going to go to Paula. I'm going to start her off with a really, really nice plant. That way she can enjoy these blooms. There is lots and lots of buds coming on this plant, so she should see blooms here in the next month or so, and that is exciting. This is an awesome little plant, beautiful little orange flowers. I will throw a picture up of this. They have a beautiful scent. You do have to get close to them to notice it, but it is a profuse bloomer. This usually blooms twice a year for me, so really, really awesome. Really strong growing little plant. And this is what I am keeping, and I'm going to put this on a cork tube, and I'm going to let this plant just take it over 360 degrees. That is my vision for this plant. So I'm starting it over. This is about how much I started with 3 years ago. So it's going to be fun to watch this one grow again. And Paula, you are going to get an awesome, awesome specimen to start out with. Alrighty, on to the next. So I've got my last plant here. This is bulbophyllum laciochilum black or dark, and this plant, I've got something going on with this mount. I don't like it. I need this mount for my division of the Brassia that I have up here. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to take this bulbophyllum off of this piece of cork. I'm going to put that bulbophyllum on a piece of tree fern. It might be a little crowded, but I'd like it to be on there instead for sure. And then I'm going to try to figure out how to clean this up. I'm probably going to spray it with Phison or maybe even a bleach solution or something and try to get rid of this crusty white thing. I don't know what that is. Fungus, mold, something. So that is the plan. I'm going to go ahead and get to this one, and I will be back with the finished product in a little bit. Alrighty, so we are back. It is later, much later. It's actually a few days later, to be honest. I got so busy. My whole station here is an absolute disaster. I have been remounting and remossing and doing all kinds of stuff, so I did not get to film this right away, but this is what I ended up doing with my dynema, the bulbophyllum laciochilum dark, and we'll go ahead and look in the tent and I will show you the big Brassia, or not so big anymore, but what I did with the big Brassia. This here is the laciochilum dark or black that came off of the cork. I put it on a nice piece of tree fern with this synthetic over some of the roots. Lots and lots of space so the rhizome can breathe, and hopefully it takes well. I think it's going to do much, much better on this style setup, so we will see. And this is my Dinama polybulbon. I have started this plant over. I gave Paula that big mount with that huge piece, and I have taken my cuttings and I have put it on this nice cork tube for it to completely take over. I'd love this to be a 360 degree plant, so that is what we're going for. I'm going to start utilizing tube a lot more, I believe. I really do like it. It gives the roots so much more options, and they can just grow and grow and grow and not end up growing off of a flat and into another one, or wherever. So that's the idea. This is the first plant to go on tube, and actually that's a lie. I've got a couple others now at this point, but this is the first one you guys are seeing that is going on tube, and that is now part of our media experiments. So let's go take a look at the Brassia, and we will wrap this video out. So this is where the big Brassia once sat, and we have reclaimed this with a bunch of smaller orchids. In fact, that's where the big bare spot right there, that is where the laciochilum is hanging right now. So anyway, what I have done with the big Brassia is I have put it on the mount that the laciochilum was on, and I've just gone ahead and put it right back in the same place. I didn't feel like jumbling a whole bunch of stuff around, but it's in a nice, highlight area. It gets some morning sun now, and it's getting nice bright LED light from above, and it's going to hopefully really take to this vertical mount and be able to stay on here for a couple years and fill that out instead of all that width from the big mount that it was on before. The plant's going to get big again, but I have plans for the future hopefully, and we're going to have all these big plants in a much better home hopefully by spring. So that is to come. Those are future tentative plans, but that is that. And those are the 3 orchids, what I have done with them. Now the other pieces I've sent off already to Paula and to Justin, and they have received them already, I will go ahead and say. So you should see those unboxings in the very near future, as well as something very special coming from all 3 of us here in the very, very near future. So I will keep that a secret for now for the most part, but I will say that we do have an awesome little series coming up, the 3 of us together. So that is that. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and as always, until next time, please stay safe and happy growing.